Merci beaucoup et bonsoir. Thank you so much, Pierre, for that kind introduction. Andy, since I mentored Pierre and he was my staff member and he mentored you and you were his staff member, I guess that makes me your political godfather.
We'll take that.
And we all have our political godmother here, the Honorable Marjorie Le Breton.
Yeah.
There she is. I was shocked to walk into the Legion and see her at the bar. Not so much. John Diefenbaker would not have approved. Great to see you, Marjorie, and as well, I know Lisa was here, and as well, Dr. Bill Tupper, honored to see you, sir. And I understand we've also, and Walter Panich, good to see you. I understand we've also been joined by the dynamic future Member of Parliament for Ottawa West Nepean, Abdul Abdi.
Abdul!
Abdul is filling the very big shoes left behind by the Honourable John Baird, but this is a guy who has overcome amazing adversity in his life to serve our country as an Ottawa police officer, and he and Walter are going to join Andy in making a dynamic new trio, along with Pierre Poilievre and others in representing the residents of the National Capital Region in the next strong, stable, national Conservative majority government. Thank you so much to my friend Bill Ayad for, I didn't know you were a young ruffian like that, Bill. That's very interesting. You kept that well obscured in your past. You just told me, it was just between you and Pierre, that story of your youthful delinquents, huh? I want to thank Allah Dama, who has prepared this fantastic Middle Eastern feast. Now, friends, you need to know that I have many nicknames out there because of my role in multiculturalism. I'm known in the cabinet as the Minister for Curry in a Hurry, because I think I've managed to hit as many as 4 curry banquets in one night in the GTA. And in the Chinese community, I am known as Xiaofu, which is Smiling Buddha. Happy Buddha. Xiaofu. So I know my way around a multicultural buffet. And let me tell you, Allah, that was the best kafta I've ever had. One of the many benefits of our country's diversity, and quite appropriately here in the Legion Hall, thanks to our hosts in the Royal Canadian Legion for welcoming us, but more importantly, for their service in Canada's uniform. Give all the vets here. Friends, I don't know about you, but I am pumped. I am excited. I just came from Abdul Abdi's campaign launch. I saw Canadians of all different backgrounds, young and old, united to get that fantastic young man elected to Parliament. And now here we are in Nepean at Andy Wang's campaign launch. I want to say, first of all, a big thank you to all of you who supported Andy in the nomination, and the other candidates who ran great campaigns. I know it was hard fought, but it shows that there is energy in the Conservative movement here in Nepean, here in the Ottawa region. And Andy, it is fantastic to see a young man of your energy, your background, your patriotism, your record of community service, seeking office to represent the people of Nepean in Parliament. And I know that you are doing so for all the right reasons. I mean, Andy, in a way, represents the story of Canada in that he came to this country with his parents. How old were you, Andy?
I was 9.
Only 9 years old.
That's right there.
All right, give his parents a hand. Now just think about this. In China, where Andy was born, there's a country of 1.2 billion people, which is governed by 9 guys who never get elected. Andy, his parents made the right choice to come to Canada. To come to the best country in the world, this land of prosperity and opportunity for all, where if you work hard, you can realize your dreams. Andy could never realistically aspire to serve in the National People's Congress in China, to be a national leader. But in this country, anyone can become what they dream if they put their minds to it, if they work hard enough. Because as our Prime Minister, Stephen Harper, says, in Canada what matters is not where you came from, or what the color of your skin is, or what God you pray to. What matters is where you're headed and how hard you're working to get there. And Andy, you've worked incredibly hard, as have your parents, and you are living the Canadian dream, young man, and we are proud of you. We look forward to seeing you in Parliament. Pierre talked about how in the last election, more new Canadians voted Conservative than native-born Canadians like me. And you know, that's remarkable, because so-called new Canadians, immigrants, people, they are Canadians of choice and not of chance. I mean, people like me, we won the lottery in having the luck to be born in this magnificently prosperous country. But Canadians of choice, people who chose to leave behind what was familiar and family and friends in order to chart an uncertain future in a strange, different new land, learning a new language, learning to live through the Canadian winters, sometimes having to go back to school and learn all over again, because too often their degrees and professional credentials aren't recognized. Those Canadians, those new Canadians, renew our country's founding values. You know, the pioneers here in the Ottawa Valley, the people who built this country, came not looking for a government handout. They weren't looking for a check or an entitlement program. They came looking for one thing: opportunity. They came to this country like newcomers do every single day, with the belief that if they worked hard in this country, unlike in their countries of origin, that they could get ahead, that hard work and virtue would be rewarded and not punished. They came to this country because they believe in personal responsibility. New Canadians believe in respect for family as the basic institution of society. New Canadians respect tradition like we Conservatives do. They respect the wisdom of those and the sacrifices made by those who have gone before us. New Canadians believe fundamentally in social order, and they are intolerant of criminality and believe there should be sanctions for those who violate the rule of our fair laws. New Canadians believe in democratic principles, and that democratic principles should animate our foreign policy and Canada's role in the world. New Canadians believe in low taxes that reward hard work instead of high taxes that punish it. New Canadians, like I believe the vast majority of Canadians, believe that entrepreneurship, the risk-taking willingness of people to put everything on the line to start a new business, a new venture, to create wealth and prosperity, to hire new people, that is the kind of economic activity that creates prosperity, not big government, top-down, high-tax schemes like those of the So, you know, our appeal to new Canadians has been the most honest appeal possible in politics. Our appeal, unlike that of the Liberals, who thought that you approached people based on simply tokenism, and you would appeal to self-styled community bosses and run foreign vote bank style politics, handing out narrow benefits to particular communities. That's not our approach. Our approach isn't the failed, corrupt Tammany Hall approach of the Liberals. Our approach is one of values. And it's very simple. We simply say to new Canadians, if you believe in personal responsibility, family, hard work, tradition, if you believe in the rule of law and order, you believe in the democratic foreign policy, if you believe these things, you are a Conservative, and that is why our party has become the party of new Canadians, and we should be proud of that fact and celebrate it. But friends, this campaign is about the big issues. You know, again, the reason people choose to come to this country is because it is a land of opportunity, and we must keep it that way. And that is the fundamental question in this election. Will we continue to be a land of private sector initiative, of free enterprise, of free markets, a country that seeks to lessen rather than increase the heavy burden of the state on people who seek to create wealth and move us forward. That is the question in this election on October the 19th. The question is whether we will continue with the proven leadership of Prime Minister Stephen Harper on the economy and on security, or take a risky change of course with unproven leadership, with ideas that would massively damage our economy, from Justin and Thomas Mulcair, who want to massively increase spending, raise deficits, increase debt, and raise taxes and kill jobs in the process. I believe, listen, we've been in office for 10 years, and our government has not been perfect. We've had to make tough decisions, and sometimes there are no good decisions to make on certain issues when you're in government. But fundamentally, if Canadians take a step back and look at Canada as the world sees us, they will see that under Prime Minister Stephen Harper's leadership, that we have led the world, that we have given Canada economic growth and stability during a period of international uncertainty. They will see that we had the shortest and shallowest recession in the world in 2009, and the strongest recovery since it, not according to us, but according to the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, that we've had the best economic growth record in the developed world since 2009, the best job creation record. They will see that we have we're seeing the creation of 1.3 million net new jobs, overwhelmingly good full-time private sector jobs. They will see that we have managed to be the second country in the G20 to balance its national budget, to eliminate the deficit. They will see that we did that not while cutting critical social programs like healthcare, like the Liberals did, but by increasing healthcare and increasing federal investments in infrastructure to help commuters get around the suburbs of Ottawa and elsewhere. They will see that we have done all of that while reducing taxes and reducing taxes again and reducing taxes again to their lowest level as a share of the Canadian economy since the 1950s. That's what the Canadians will see, and that's why I believe we will have a renewed, strong, stable national Conservative majority mandate on October the 19th. We talk about tax cuts, and I think people, because we've done so many tax cuts over a decade, and I know this frustrates many of us, people they get the benefit of the tax cut and then they move on, and then in some cases a provincial or a local government comes along and raises the taxes, and they don't seem to be much further ahead on their disposable income. So we have to constantly remind them of how much better off they are. It is not a coincidence that the New York Times, which is kind of like the Toronto Star politically, came out with a massive study last year saying that Canada now has the wealthiest middle class in the world, thanks to the increases in disposable income that have been a result of our government's tax cuts for working families. Justin Trudeau is pretending now, like he's not reading the evidence. They always talk about evidence-based policy. I'm looking at the evidence. The evidence is that we have the best off middle class in the world, thanks to our low-tax, fiscally disciplined policies. Justin Trudeau's most implausibly pretending to be a champion of the middle class. Imagine that. Somebody born with a silver foot in his mouth. A millionaire trust fund baby. Yeah. Who refused to cash the check that Pierre Poilievre sent him for the universal child care benefit. You know what, Justin? We get it. We understand that people who inherited millions of dollars, a few $1,000s for their kids, doesn't matter a lot. I'll tell you, that few $1,000s means an awful lot to the hard-working middle-class families of Nepean. They need that support. They need it. Taxes, and we cut them again. We cut the GST. Guess what? The Liberals opposed it. The NDP opposed it. The media opposed. They ridiculed our GST tax cut. But it's the only tax cut that benefits 100% of people, including those on low incomes, including low-income seniors and others, and single moms with modest incomes who don't pay income tax. We raised the basic personal exemption. We raised the spousal exemption. We cut the basic income tax rate. We enhanced the a tax benefit, the working income tax benefit, all of those things, by the way, took 1.3 million low-income people off the tax rolls altogether and have reduced poverty, have reduced the percentage of Canadian families living below the low-income cutoff line to its lowest level in history. I'll tell you what, Thomas Mulcair, you are not, you talk a good game about supporting people with modest incomes. We walk the talk. We've delivered for low-income families more than any government in our history. And of course, we cut taxes. Yes, you know how we did that, Mr. Mulcair? We did it by growing the economy. And you know how you grow the economy? By helping people who work hard to succeed and not punishing their success. And that's why we cut taxes for employers. It's why we cut taxes for businesses from 25 to 15%, allowing Canada now to have the lowest taxes on new business investment in the developed world. And now, if you watch the American debate, they're all talking about how can they get their business taxes as low as Canada's. Remember, it used to be the other way? Now we are seen as the island of economic growth and stability. And we've cut the small business tax. How many people here are small business people? How many small business women and men? All right, you see, you guys are the unsung heroes of the Canadian economy. You're the wealth creators. 90% of new jobs in our economy are created by small and medium-sized businesses, and that is why Stephen Harper's Conservatives have cut the small business tax rate from 15% down now in this budget to 9%, the lowest level